Hey everybody, Jeff Stone here with another episode of mindreading.com. We're looking at Jermay's Mind today by Luke Jermay. Bam. 4 DVDs, 8.5 hours of stuff. I'm going to go on the record right now and say, if you're into mentalism, young, old, new, experienced, whatever, this is a must-have in your library. And I don't often, if you listen to my reviews and watch my reviews and read them, you know that I usually don't, recommend a product per se. I typically will say, here's the information, add copy, method, to, and product quality. And based on that, if it's up to you to decide. I'm telling you to get this if you're into mentalism. If you're not, then turn off the review now. If you're wanting to get into mentalism, this is a good resource. Although this is some advanced stuff on some levels, let me just tell you this. What are the effects? The effects are what you know. Tossed out deck, a Q&A routine, design duplication. What else? There's the ESP stuff, a couple of card things, some... what else? Some stuff on Equivocate, and just a few other things. A lot of cold reading stuff. This is nothing you have not heard of. However, I guarantee you have not seen it done like this. I was not very familiar with Luke Jermay's work at all. The only thing I really knew from him, I had heard a lot of stuff, but I'd never read any of it myself or watched it until recently. I got his poker effect. It's kind of a version of the trick that cannot be explained, which I've got somewhere on the site. You can go Google that and look it up on the site. I reviewed that on there, I should say. And it was great. I gave it a great review, no question about it. But there's this, you see, like... The dude's a freaking genius. I don't know how else to say it. The guy is incredible. So, what you're getting here is his... Living and Dead. That's another one that's a classic mentalism plots on here. What you're getting in here is his take, both in presentation and method, of these effects. And these aren't just, this is my variation. I used a blue deck instead of a red deck crap. These are... stuff that takes it to the next level. The methods are extremely simple. In fact, he talks a little bit about that, how he just kind of went back to the basic methods, and he went this full circle where all he cared about all he cares about now is just the audience reaction. He doesn't care what method gets him there. Now, because of that, he's ended up creating some very deceptive methods, and they're mostly just variations or handlings or method variations of stuff that you're familiar with. But I'm telling you, you've never seen it like this. His cold reading skills and what he teaches you about cold reading is worth the price of this if you're into wanting to learn cold reading. If you don't like cold reading, you don't do it, you don't care about it, then turn off the video. He has this whole section on what he calls touching on Hoy, which is a very smart combination of, believe it or not, a Hoy principle and a PK touch principle that are mixed together that you would never imagine. And when I say Hoy, I mean a tossed out deck principle that most people are familiar with the Hoy handling of that. That concept mixed in with a PK touch thing, that term morphs into something completely different that is incredible. And there's a whole section of stuff on here that is propless mentalism. It's all done with speaking and with volunteers from the audience and stuff, particularly the Q&A routine. So, speaking of the Q&A routine, there is some stuff in that Q&A routine where he teaches you... sorry, I got to look at something here so I don't want to screw this up. Okay. So... he teaches you how to harness several techniques and how to use them properly. These are techniques that you mostly have heard of if you're into mentalism. A few things you may not be as familiar with, but he's got this incredible way of using the techniques and the information and the systems with the right combination of each other and the right timing, that it just produces what feels real. Even after learning the method and the secret on how all this stuff works, I watched another presentation that he has later on in the DVD set, and it moved me to tears. It was so powerful. Just, it's amazing. And again, that's a lot of this. I'm talking about effect. But in mentalism, you have to, and in presentation, and in mentalism, you have to kind of look at that when you're dealing with mentalism. Yeah, we can go with methods, which again, his methods are incredible. But part of the method is presentation. And so knowing how he presents this stuff and understanding how he presents it, and he covers it in great depth. The only kooky thing on here, there's two things. There was a play all button. Thank you so much for that. That makes things so much easier. There's a section right in the middle of an explanation where the camera guy or whatever, one of the producers or something, stops him. He's like, "You're going on too long. This segment's too long." And they have a little, not a fight, but a little discussion, debate or whatever for a few minutes, totally all on camera. Clearly that section was meant to be cut out. They kind of screwed that up. So I can overlook that. It's fine. On an 8.5-hour project, who knows how many times they watched it over and over again. They just probably missed it. But there is one little problem in the design dupe, and this is going to be one of those weird things where I'm speaking circles and it's not going to make any sense because I can't tip the method. But something happened in the performance that he did not explain in the explanation. That particular thing that happened, I'm pretty sure he got lucky. But one of the things you learn on here is how to orchestrate and manipulate and harness luck. And you would not believe how successful he is at doing that. Some stuff, I mean, it will just blow you away. And it's simple stuff. And it's stuff that I know can work. It's not some weird pipe dream or whatever. So that one thing, he never explained what happened there. The other thing, that same routine, there's kind of a discrepancy that happens with one. So the way the routine works, you have 5 people draw a picture and they write their name on it. Well, there's one part of the method that he doesn't explain how to deal with it that has to do with a name not being on one of the drawings. I'll just leave it at that. And I think that's pretty important to understand that if you're going to use that method. So that was a little bit of a bummer, but my guess is that kind of thing. You email Luke Jermay and let him know that you've got this thing, and you have to prove it, I assume. He'd probably be willing to help you out with that. I don't know, though. I don't know a thing about the guy other than that he's awesome, according to this. There's so much stuff on here, guys. There's pendulum work. There's a really cool concept with the pendulum. Several ideas with the pendulum. On and on and on. I don't know. I can just sit here and rant and rave about how great it is. But the bottom line is this. I really believe, based on what I've read, what I've seen on this video, and I've watched all 8.5 hours of it, every minute of it, some of it more than one time. So, based on everything I've seen on here, this guy is going to be a legend. He's going to be the guy 30, 40 years from now. People are going to look back and go, yeah, that was based on an old Luke Jermay idea. That guy that revolutionized mentalism back in the, 2015 or whatever. The guy is incredibly clever, and the thing that's amazing is the stuff that he teaches. It's not hard. It just takes some presentation and acting skills and the dedication and the guts in some cases, but it's not like you're gonna have to spend years trying to master some knuckle busting card move. That it's nothing like that. Super smart stuff, guys. If you're into mentalism, put this in your collection. 5 stars. Stone stats of capital G, capital E, capital M, exclamation point. That's it for this one, folks. Let's take a peek at the random iTunes song of the moment, which is Raise Your Hands by Bon Jovi off the New Jersey album. Or, I'm sorry, off the Slippery When Wet album. If you're about my age, 40-ish, and you were a teenager-ish in the 1980s, you owned Slippery When Wet. unless you didn't listen to rock. That was a great album, man. I mean, that Living on a Prayer, You Give Love a Bad Name, Wanted Dead or Alive, Never Say Goodbye, Without Love. I mean, just tons of great songs on there. Raise Your Hands on there. What else is on there? Social Disease. I took that one off my playlist because of the beginning. It's got some stuff I don't want to be listening to on my headphones or on my speakers when my kids walk by. That aside, though, it's just a great album. It's one of the best albums in the history of my collection. Certainly one of the better Bon Jovi albums. No question about that. Although their New Jersey album that came out next was very good too. So, anyway, that is Raise Your Hands, Bon Jovi. That is the random iTunes song of the moment. Tune in next time where we got a simple review of that. That's it, folks. We're reviewing that. Tune in then. Thanks for watching, folks. Peace out.